And, of course, the big difference is Caitlin Clark. I think she should be up for MVP.
The WNBA has seen its share of rising stars, but what Caitlin Clark is doing right now feels different. Her performances have been nothing short of electric, breaking records, dropping jaws, and pushing the limits of what's possible on the court. Every game, every play, she inches closer to the MVP crown, leaving fans and analysts speechless. It's no longer just about stats. It's about rewriting the rules of the game. But can she keep this unstoppable momentum and claim the MVP title everyone's talking about?
The Indiana Fever made the playoffs. They didn't play last night, but thanks to Las Vegas with a win over Chicago and Phoenix with a win over Atlanta, the Indiana Fever have their first playoff berth since 2016. 2 years ago, their home attendance was 1,800 fans.
The Indiana Fever's recent playoff qualification marks a significant turning point for the team and the WNBA. After several challenging years, the Fever have made a triumphant return to the postseason for the first time since 2016. This achievement highlights the team's remarkable progress and the influence of their rising star, Caitlin Clark. The Fever's improvement is not only evident in their on-court success, but also in their growing fan base. In just 2 years, the average home attendance skyrocketed from 1,800 to an impressive 17,000, a tenfold increase that illustrates the Fever's growing popularity and success. Much of this is attributed to Caitlin Clark's extraordinary talent, leadership, and impact on the team.
Their average this year, home attendance, is 17,000. That's almost 10 times. And, of course, the big difference is Caitlin Clark. I think she should be up for MVP. Rookie of the Year, foregone conclusion. But I think MVP. Now,
Caitlin Clark's presence has been transformative for the Indiana Fever. She has quickly established herself as one of the brightest stars in the league, demonstrating immense skill and poise despite being a rookie. There's growing discussion around her deserving recognition not only as Rookie of the Year, which is nearly a certainty, but also as a potential MVP candidate. Although A'ja Wilson is widely acknowledged as the best player in the WNBA, the argument for Clark's MVP candidacy stems from her overall value to the team and the league. Clark's influence goes beyond her athletic performance. Her contributions have helped elevate the Fever to a playoff contender from being the worst team last year. This shift in team success is a testament to Clark's importance and leadership on and off the court.
I'm going to look at this the way I did with Michael Jordan. Now, she's not the Michael Jordan of her sport as far as athleticism, playing, dominating. But A'ja Wilson is the best player in the game. Not even a debate. But I'm talking about value now. Value to a franchise, value to
a crucial part of the MVP debate revolves around the definition of value. While A'ja Wilson is undoubtedly an elite player, Caitlin Clark's case for MVP lies in the impact she has had on her team and the league as a whole. Clark's value is not only measured by her on-court statistics, but also by her ability to drive team success, energize fans, and generate media attention. In this regard, comparisons have been drawn to basketball legend Michael Jordan. Although Clark may not dominate the game with the same physicality or accolades as Jordan did, her influence on the Fever and the league mirrors the kind of impact Jordan had on the NBA during his career. Just as Jordan's presence made his team and the league better, Clark's arrival in the WNBA has brought new life to the Fever and increased attention to women's basketball as a whole.
League, getting your team in the playoffs, they had the number one pick. They were the worst team last year, and there is value that I can attach to that. Now, that might not fit in the categories that everybody would consider for MVP. I'm talking about value. Michael Jordan was the most valuable player every single year because of what he meant to.
The Fever's resurgence can be directly linked to Clark's performance and influence. Clark's ability to guide her team into the playoffs after they finished at the bottom of the standings last season demonstrates the immense value she brings. This turnaround highlights the importance of an individual player's impact on team success. It may not fit neatly into traditional MVP criteria, which often focus on statistics and titles, but the overall value Clark brings to her team and the league is undeniable. Whether it's filling arenas with fans or boosting television ratings, Caitlin Clark has emerged as a game-changing presence for the WNBA.
His team and what he meant to the league. And, oh, by the way, winning 6 titles. Can't argue with that. Caitlin Clark may not win titles. Las Vegas is still a great team. But the fact that she is doing what she's doing and at a very high level, it's now commonplace where she'll go for 20.
Despite not having years of experience in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark has quickly adapted to the professional level of play. This adjustment was not immediate, as Clark had to overcome several challenges in her rookie season. After an exhausting college basketball season where she played at a high level, Clark had little time to rest before joining the WNBA. The physical and mental toll of transitioning from college to the professional ranks was evident early in the season. The Fever's schedule, which featured matchups against tough opponents, further added to the pressure. Clark struggled initially as she had to quickly learn how to adjust her style of play to fit the demands of the WNBA.
6 and 12. I mean, those are great numbers for any player, no matter how long you've been in the league. She's learned how to play the game, and she said, I had to learn how to play the WNBA way. But also, she needed a rest. She needed a rest after the season in college basketball a month.
However, as the season progressed, so did Clark's ability to thrive in her new environment. Her performance in the second half of the season was nothing short of exceptional, solidifying her place as one of the most talented young players in the league. Clark's learning curve in adjusting to the WNBA and overcoming early challenges only adds to the argument for her MVP candidacy. Her ability to elevate her game, even when faced with adversity, is a testament to her dedication and talent. Clark has proven that she can perform at an elite level, despite the significant jump from college to professional basketball.
Later, she's playing games, and she's playing against really good teams, and then they stacked the schedule up front so everybody got to see her play. She struggled. And I said, second half of the season, look out, and that's exactly what's happened for her and her backcourt mate, Kelsey Mitchell. She's wonderful, too.
Clark's impact is not just limited to her personal success. She has also helped elevate the play of her teammates, particularly her backcourt partner, Kelsey Mitchell. Together, Clark and Mitchell have formed a dynamic duo that consistently delivers high-scoring performances for the Fever. Their combined offensive firepower has become a key asset for the team, often contributing more than 50 points per game. Mitchell's contributions complement Clark's game, creating a balanced and effective offensive threat that has helped propel the Fever to the playoffs. This partnership between Clark and Mitchell exemplifies how an individual player's impact can also lift the performance of those around them.
Talk about offense. You're going to get 50-plus points a game out of your backcourt. Pretty impressive. Yes, Marvin?
So if you have an MVP vote, do you give Caitlin Clark a second place
Yes.
MVP? Okay.
Yes. A'ja Wilson's MVP.
Correct.
But once again, I'm talking about the totality of somebody's value. Her value is felt.
While it's clear that A'ja Wilson remains the frontrunner for MVP, there is a strong case for Caitlin Clark to be considered as the runner-up. Wilson's dominance in the league is undeniable, as she has consistently been one of the top players in the WNBA. However, the discussion surrounding Clark's MVP candidacy goes beyond raw statistics. Her influence on her team, the league, and the sport as a whole makes her a unique and compelling candidate. Clark's ability to attract attention to the game, fill arenas, and boost TV ratings demonstrates her value to the WNBA in a way that transcends traditional metrics.
Every place she goes, every arena she goes, TV, ratings, value. Now, look, that's not, I guess, fair, with statistical categories, but this is something that to me is larger than this, the stats that you're going to have. Value.
The debate about MVP voting often focuses heavily on statistics, such as points scored, rebounds, and assists. While these numbers are important, they don't always tell the full story of a player's contribution to their team and the league. In Caitlin Clark's case, her value is reflected in the increased fan engagement, heightened media coverage, and overall excitement surrounding the Fever's season. This kind of intangible impact is difficult to measure, but is essential when considering a player's true value to the sport.
I think she should be runner-up to A'ja Wilson. Now, there have been wonderful players. There are wonderful players. I'm talking about something that maybe is hard to define, but you know it when you see it, and that is the value that she brings to her sport.
Clark has brought something special to the WNBA that goes beyond just her individual achievements. Her marketability, charisma, and undeniable talent have made her a beloved figure in women's basketball, drawing in fans from all over. She has become a role model for young athletes and an ambassador for the sport, helping to grow the game's popularity and reach. In this sense, her value is more than just what she accomplishes on the court. It's also about how she inspires and energizes those who watch her play. Ultimately, the conversation around Caitlin Clark's value highlights a broader discussion about what it means to be an MVP. While titles, statistics, and championships are important, they don't always capture the full scope of a player's impact. Clark's ability to transform a struggling team into a playoff contender, her influence on the growth of the WNBA, and her connection with fans all point to her being a valuable asset to the sport. Even if she doesn't win the MVP award, her contributions to the game cannot be ignored. As Caitlin Clark continues her relentless pursuit of the MVP title, one thing is clear: this season is shaping up to be unforgettable. Stay tuned, because the journey is far from over. If you don't want to miss any of her jaw-dropping performances and updates on the MVP race, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Drop a like if you're as hyped as we are to see what comes next, and share your thoughts in the comments below. More incredible moments are on the way.